And good morning. Welcome back. It is Monday, November 27. It's the last Monday of November, and we actually just sneak into December at the end of this week. It's unbelievable. We are quickly approaching halfway through the year. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Um, Praying your Thanksgiving break was restful. And joyful and but sometimes they're not, and that's okay too. Sometimes they're not, sometimes they're stressful, and that's normal too. So bottom line is we're glad you're back, and looking forward to seeing you in the halls and in the classrooms. Not a lot happening this week. Should go pretty quick, and then I'll share some notes from church. So let's just kind of look at the calendar here real quick. Today's a pretty straightforward day. There's a preview for prospective parents and families tonight. Speaking of which, we have student shadows this week on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, all for sixth grade. And the middle school quest group is gonna go into the NOAA in Boulder, and that's on Wednesday, basically the whole morning through lunch. And then speech and debate. You are up in Greeley on Friday. And so for your second meet, and then of course there's tons of basketball happening. And Mr. Hanson will be speaking with some of you regarding your eligibility. And keep in mind, eligibility is more than just grades. It is also behavior related as well. So anyway, let's just stick with the plan and focus on those studies and focus on making good choices so that you are able to play. So anyway, dining hall cleanup crew is Lindley, Cam, Scarlett, Cedric, Charles, Sawyer, and Owen. Okay, so those are our lunch cleanup crew today. Thank you for serving us in advance. And then one last thing, seventh and eighth grade, we are something new this year with SALT. We're making it a half-year commitment. So we are going to have a whole new group of SALT students for the second semester. And so SALT applications will be in your inbox, email inbox, at some point this week. We will let you know when those hit, but I would keep an eye on your email. Of course, you should be doing that every single day anyway. But the SALT applications for second semester SALT team, you're going to be seventh and eighth grade. You're going to be receiving those soon. All right, this week. Okay. Church. So church, we had a guest preacher, and he was great. And so it's out of Matthew 6:25 to 34. Basically, it says, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow's got enough, or today has enough of its own challenges. So let's not worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow's not even promised, gang. I mean, it's just not. I mean, it just isn't. And the message was basically keep the first things first was his title, and basically keep it simple. So often, meaning the first things first, meaning keep God first, right? Keep God first. He said a divine centered life. I thought that was a great phrase. So often, yours and my identity is found in our stuff. We worry about the logo that's on our shoes, on our shirt, on our sweatshirt, whatever it happens to be. We worry about that stuff, and then we think that our identity is tied into that stuff. And as we get more and more stuff, and we chase these brands, life gets complicated, and then it's harder to live this simple Christ-centered, divine-centered life. Because we fill our life with stuff, the right video game, the right number of phone, all of that. Life gets more complicated, and then we get more worried because we don't have the right stuff. And then are we going to be accepted because we don't have the right stuff, or the right brand on our shoes, or the right shoes when we walk into basketball practice, and it spirals up. And so then we start living in fear. We get anxious, right? Instead of saying, wait a minute, my identity is not in whatever shoes I walk into basketball practice with, or the backpack or the sweatshirt I'm walking up and down the halls in. My identity is divine centered. It is in Christ. Live simply. Live in simplicity. And then finally, it just says, first things first means, and this was awesome. And in fact, one of our students was sitting right behind me in church, and I leaned over and asked if this sounded familiar, and he said yes. First things first means love our neighbor as ourselves, and it means love your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. That's what he said, and the pastor doesn't know our theme, but that's what he said it means to have the first things first, have a divine-centered life. So just live one day at a time. Today's going to take care of itself. Tomorrow's not promised, right? Just focus on today. Focus on loving others well today. Focus on loving God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength today. Live today. Be present today, Monday the 27th. Anyway, it was awesome. It was a good reminder. I had not thought of that. Obviously, I'd heard that verse quite a bit, but those verses quite a bit, but I had not heard it that way. So anyway, that's the scoop there. Hope you're having a great morning so far, and we'll see you in the halls. And again, welcome back.